offer some suggestions to help getting clearer on the issue. So Laura, where are you calling in from?
Windsor, Ontario.
Windsor, Ontario. All right. I don't know if I've actually been to Windsor before. Okay. So what is clear for you right now about the issue you want to help people with, or is it just a complete unknown to you?
There's some aspects that feel clear in that, like, people tend to come to me when they're feeling overwhelmed, dealing with a lot of anxiety, or there's just something that things are feeling very heavy.
Laura, can you just while you're talking, if you could pause from the dishes?
Oh, it's 1 second. It's somebody else doing the dishes. So 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good.
Perfect. Sorry, if you could start again.
Yeah, so people tend to come to me when they're feeling overwhelmed, feeling disconnected from themselves, that they're feeling like there's things that are very heavy that are weighing them down. So they're feeling, I hear a lot of like feeling heavy, feeling overwhelmed, feeling disconnected from themselves.
Is that what they say? They say, I feel so disconnected from myself?
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
And then I think it just like, it goes into like different issues, but I think like I think a lot of people that come to me because they know me, and less because I've put out a clear issue that they want help with. They just kind of are feeling a certain way, and they just because they know me or have, been to classes with me or workshops with me before.
Yeah.
So it's more of a like presence and energy thing than it is like a very clear, I can help you with this.
Yeah. So the question is that working for you?
Not really.
Okay. Why is it not working for you? How do you know it's not working?
Because the people, like there are people who come through word of mouth, but I'm like struggling to put together a clear website that actually feels good and feels like, and or people will like tell someone about me and they'll go to my website and either they'll like reach out and be like, so and so told me about you, or they'll just be kind of turned off because it's kind of messy and unclear.
Okay, thank you. So I'm curious, what is the work that you do, Laura?
I do breath work, and I've also done some coaching, like mindfulness. I'm a yoga teacher as well. So relaxation. I used to have a studio space where I was doing workshops that were a combination of restorative yoga and journaling, meditation, and breath work. But now that I don't have a studio space anymore, things are kind of online and not as clear.
And what got you into all this holistic stuff?
Well, it all kind of started with my own health issues, and looking for alternatives because the more conventional paths for healing weren't working for me.
And what were the health issues you were struggling with?
Severe eczema, and also some colitis, so like autoimmune issues and stress related issues.
Got it. And that was your senses. That was kind of what was at the heart of a lot of that, was the stress, eh?
Yes. Yeah.
And what happened when you started de-stressing or dealing with the stress? What changed for you?
Just the way my relationship to myself changed in a big way. Yeah. So, and just, like taking care of myself changed.
Were you still sick? Did you still have the trouble, or did that go away?
Yes, yeah. So I'm way healthier than I used to be in like in terms of mental, emotional, and physical health.
What else in terms of eczema did you find was important? Was there any dietary stuff? Was there any other lifestyle stuff or nutritional anything?
I tried a lot of dietary stuff and a lot of like trying to deal with it in very physical ways,
Mhm.
which often left me feeling frustrated and hopeless because those things could help a little bit, but they weren't actually the root cause of the issue because the issue is much deeper, much more nervous system, emotional, um, energetic stuff.
Yeah. Have you read Gabar Mate's book, When the Body Says No?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I figured you might have. Well, I would focus on that.
So I guess my concern is more that I feel like unqualified to speak to those issues because I kind of know a lot about my personal experience, but I don't feel qualified to say like, hey, I can help you with your autoimmune issues or
Um,
these like physical issues.
r- right. Who is qualified in your mind?
Someone who has a deeper understanding of the body, I think.
So would a allopathic doctor, would they be qualified?
I guess I think of like a friend who's like a naturopath who just knows a lot more about the way the body works.
Well, I would question that, first of all, that they know more than you about how the body works. But okay, let me just.
I guess because I'm thinking of someone specific.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so I'm going to invite, if you would be willing, everyone, to put yourself on camera, because I'm going to ask a question. I'd love to see. Or I guess you could raise your hand. You don't have to put on camera, but there's the little reactions button at the bottom where you can raise your hand with that. That's fine. Raise your hand if you've seen a naturopath before and it didn't help and you spent a lot of money on supplements. Anyone? Okay, we've had 3, 4 we've got 12 people here. So 1/3 of the people on this call have had that experience. I'll raise my hand too. Okay, so that's a little less than half of people have had that experience. So that's just a little note that, people have gone to the very people you say are more qualified, and yet they ain't better. It didn't help. This is a very important thing. It's good this came up because we don't want to overpromise. Yeah, we're trying to be good humans. we don't want to mislead people and say, oh yeah, I can absolutely help you with that, and then we don't. And more disappointment in the world, certainly not what we need.
I think that's actually where the fear comes from because of how many people have told me or kind of presented like they could help me and then didn't, and it left me feeling worse off.
Absolutely. Right, so we don't want that. So here's what you can say is you can be very clear with people. Here's right, Kim is putting in the comments, she said tried 6 naturopaths, no help whatsoever. So that's hilarious. Good times. So what we can do is we can say to people, look, if you've got an autoimmune condition and you realize that stress is an important part of that, here's what I've got. I've got an offering that I think can help. This is not a cure. I'm not promising that. I'm not, there's other treatments to do, other dietary approaches and all that. You can do the Walls diet or you can do the GAPS diet, and I'd recommend you find one that works for you. And this will help whatever you do work better. No matter what other approaches you take, this approach to stress will improve it. There's no doubt. And here's the exercise I'd recommend you do. This is probably the most common one I do during my puttering sessions, which if you ever want to work with me one-on-one for a whole hour, put the link in here. It's marketingforhippies.com/puttering. And here's the exercise. Basically, you take a piece of paper, you draw 3 columns in it. Yeah. Top left-hand column, this would be too soon. The middle column is perfect moment. And then the right-hand column is too late. And you think about your client. So in this case, you know, Laura would think about somebody with autoimmune conditions. And by the way, Laura, literally every other exercise I've done on this call is for you too. Like the ideal client stuff around this autoimmune thing, huge, huge. But this can help. This exercise is one of my favorites to hone. You ask yourself, okay, when is it too soon for me to help them? They're just not going to be ready yet. Yeah, what's the too soon thing? Is there such a thing as too late? Probably so. You know, sometimes a condition is so far gone, you're like, you need a much more serious intervention than I can offer. You know, maybe there's a too late, or they've given up. That's too late too, probably. And then there's the perfect moment. Yeah, what's the right moment, the breaking point? What's the time when it's like, when these things are happening, man, if people show up in that moment, that's when I can help them the best. That's the bullseye. Yeah. People can be 1 or 2 rings out, it's fine, but if they're in the bullseye, that's where I can really help. And then, you know, this is the thing, as you clarify your ideal client, and this exercise is part of that, as you clarify that, you only write to those people. That's it. In your social media, your sales letters, your homepage, that's the only person to whom you're speaking. Nobody else. Because people will see it and they'll see that what you're aiming for in the bullseye, and they'll be like, well, I'm 2 rings out, but that's pretty close. Yeah, so good to remember, you can be explicit without being exclusive. Yeah, you can be explicit without being exclusive. Somebody might come to you and say, well, I don't really have autoimmune, but I think you're cool and can I work with you? Sure, fine. You don't have to turn people away, or you could, up to you. So I would really consider focusing on that, the same exercise, the premium thing. And I would just do it like a limited run, 5 people, 10 people, a beta test. And you just say, look, I went through this. I'm not an expert, but I did go through this myself, and it has made a big difference in my health. I think stress is really, if there are dietary things, there are probably supplements that help. You know, there's other stuff, but I just found this was so healing for me when, you know, I spent a lot of time and money, nothing else worked for me. So that's all I can say from my experience. There, I can back that up with some academic theory too, if you like. And then just put something out and give it a try and see what the response is. My guess is the response will be pretty good. Then the other thing though is, and I would say this for everyone, whatever the niche is you're wanting to focus on, whatever the issue is, 10 books. Read 10 books over the next year on that topic. You'll know more than almost anyone you talk to at that point. Yeah. Find 10 books that seem to make some sense to you and dig in. Go through course. I mean, just learn. Keep learning. Dedicate yourself. Like, I'm going to learn more about autoimmune conditions and different theories about it. Because I'll tell you what, Ayurveda has a different perspective than Chinese medicine, which has a different perspective than, you know, there's a whole perspective where the body's attacking itself. And there's other people that would say that's just complete bullshit. That's not what's happening at all. There's the natural hygiene. There's the, you know, there's German new medicine. There's so many modalities. So try reading different perspectives on it. And then the important thing is then you cobble together your own point of view from that, your own experience plus what you've read. And then this is what makes the sales letter so compelling. This is what makes the intro workshop so compelling, is you can say, look, here's the issue. You're all here for this issue. And here's my take on it. Yeah, this is my opinion about it. And people will either resonate with that or they won't. That's the reality. Yeah, they'll either agree or they don't. They lean in or they lean out. And either way is fine. But then the people who work with you, you know, resonating with your point of view. Is that helpful at all?
Very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I sent some links here. There's one Wound is Niche playlist, and the other is Ideal Client, or what I call Big Circle playlist. And I would just go through all those videos. By the way, if you go to SoundCloud/Marketing for Hippies, I'm there, and all my videos are also on SoundCloud. So in case you just, like me, you like to listen more than watch videos and save the data on your phone, it's all there too. and in the playlists as well, so you can find them there.